After almost 30 years of microcomputers in education, we stand at a kind of crossroads about where the future might take us. A lot of people have been asking about the return of investment, if you like to call it that, about all these computers in education over the last 30 years. It was probably quite a tremendous amount of money and time that's been spent there. But we're at a very exciting time in technology, and it's kind of precipitating in a sense. A very interesting time in education. I won't call it an exciting time in education because it's full of, risks and potential difficulties. There's at least two paths ahead at this fork we're standing in at the moment. On the one path, there's what I might call a systems approach. It's driven by the tech industry, if you like, and senior leadership. They're interested in decisions and data and a more prescriptive approach perhaps to education. There's talk about efficiency and effectiveness of the use of technology. In a sense, it's kind of automation agenda to achieve that kind of efficiency. You talk to a lot of people, a bit of new technology, they often call it, it's a new content delivery possibility. So in this systems approach, which is tech-centric, it's about connecting up the different systems. It's an extension of the managed learning environment, if you like, and a lot of it's about how to deliver content, something that's always been done in education, assess it, test it, get the data to make good decisions, often robust and excellent decision making. It's an automation agenda. Now, the return on investment there is, what they argue is that technology has not achieved the productivity gains it has in other sectors. Teaching education is still quite labour intensive. So there's a view, if you like, to see technology to produce greater productivity. That's one path. It's kind of like if you look to the future of AI here, it's a kind of sense of AI to maybe program you, if you like, lead you through a programmed path. On the other path is what I might call a design approach. It's a people-centric approach rather than technology-centric approach. People that talk about this more are educationalists and teachers, people, if you like, that are on the chalk face, to use that phrase. I suppose we might call it the smartboard face now, I guess, certainly the e-board phase. It's by definition almost more diverse and eclectic, a kind of bricolage of different ideas. So it's not so easily to pin down as the kind of systems approach. It's probably what makes it difficult for people to get a handle on. The systems approach is quite clean cut. It's quite binary, black and white. Efficiency, productivity, automation systems. With the design approach, it starts with the learner and it uses what's in the learner's world, if you like, to motivate them and engage them. It's not just about technology, of course. It could be about transforming the education itself, which is a bigger problem, or a bigger project, I should say. And because it's more diverse, it asks the question of, what is tech? I'm standing in the kitchen here, and there's all sorts of technology. It's not necessarily digital technology. Everybody's obsessed with digital technology. I say this at a time when there seems to be a kind of retro trend for a simpler time as well. Vinyl, we see the Nokia 3310 coming back, which is very interesting. But these are, of course, these. Well, they're not, the 3310 is not actually digital, is it? Yes, it is. It's I digress. But there's 3D printing, there's social media, there's mobiles, there's the Internet of Things, there's robotics. There's a whole load of maker tinkering stuff that can be done at schools. It's not just about digital and screen-based testing. So I think this approach is more about program rather than be programmed. I've noticed there's a kind of rise in interest in Seymour Papin's ideas. Again, back good 30 years from when all this started, and it kind of fizzled out and smothered by what you might call the systems approach over all these years. Seymour Papin's work on constructionism and Piaget's constructivism People assemble their learning in their own ways, and so, in a sense, this is where I'm trying to think through this. I'm kind of thinking aloud here, really, about two different paths. More than likely, it'll be somewhere in the middle. It'll be a kind of, hopefully, a blend. But my fear is there's a big push for the systems approach that's coming down now from senior leaders to increase the effectiveness and the efficiency of education through automation. Opens up a whole lot of questions about where this would take us. On the other side, there's a more creative, lighter approach of the design fork, if you like. So it's more on this in the future, but it's just to get started. Thinking aloud here. Okay, thanks.